What are some of your biggest frustrations or challenges that you're having with trying to learn the guitar? Guys, in the description below, there's a link where you can book a call and I'll talk to you one-on-one. We'll set up a session and we'll talk about it. One of the things that I had trouble with and that I hear so much is getting the chords, the notes to ring out clearly. Muted strings, right? Not being able to just get it out clearly, right? We're gonna go over what to do about this, how to fix this. One of the things, it might be your guitar. Also in the description below, there's a link to a free lesson that's normally only in the MyPOVGuitar beginner course. It's not you, it's your guitar. How to spot if you have a trouble guitar. This will solve so many things if you can get these things fixed. Getting your chords to ring out is one of them. Okay, so it might be your guitar, okay? If you have a trouble guitar, it's gonna be a lot harder to get all the notes to ring out. So check out that link in the description. The other thing is hand position, okay? I'm gonna teach you how to properly hold this end of the guitar, okay? And not flatten it, okay? Because when you flatten, it's when you start muting strings, okay? I'm gonna teach you about fret, where to put your finger close to the fret for maximum, for ease of pushing it down for one thing, but in turn, that also makes the note ring out better, okay? And we're gonna do some exercises with some chords. We're gonna go with some easy chords that I teach in the MyPOVGuitar beginner course. And then we're gonna build on them so that you can start getting those chords to ring out. And I'm gonna show you from your point of view. Okay, guys. So you're having trouble getting all the notes to ring out. You're muting strings, okay? One thing could be your guitar. The space between the strings and the fretboard is called the action. This has a very high action. Okay? Makes it really hard to press the strings down, okay? It's a great sounding guitar, but I need to have the action lowered on this thing. There's just too much space. And therefore I have to apply way more pressure. So one, it makes my fingers hurt more. And two, it makes it way easier to mute strings and change chords. And it wears my hand out. In the description, there's a free lesson to show you some tips to what to do to combat this without having to go out and purchase a new guitar. If you have a high action, there's some things that you can do, and I go through every bit of it. It's called It's Not You, It's Your Guitar, and it's free. You get it in the link below. Normally, you can only get it with the MyPOV beginner course, okay? So your guitar might be the first thing. That might be the reason. Okay, guys, if it's not your guitar and it's user error, it's all about hand placement, okay? And if you notice me, my thumb sticks way out over this. My hands are disproportionately big to the rest of my body, okay? And as you get more comfortable with the guitar, your thumb will start to creep up the neck as well. And this all started from playing a D major with an F sharp bass note because it sounds really good. So as kids, we all learned. bad habit on my part. When learning, your thumb needs to rest about halfway up the neck, right in the middle. Okay? And if you think of your hands as a trapeze, just kind of swing, right? You're swinging around. It's like this D chord. Because that's a really easy chord to mute strings on. But you want enough space, and it all has to do with your original hand position. Okay. Where you have that curve there in between. There's space in between, so you're not resting your fingers on the strings, okay? So halfway up the neck with your thumb, and kind of just think of it as a trapeze and kind of come in curvature, right? Just come in like that. Your fingers are going to kind of have to do a bendy thing. You know, it's not like that. It's more like that. You're arching in and coming in straight ahead. You know, and it's easier said than done. You know, I'm not going to lie. But see, there's space there in between. Every note's ringing out on that. Okay? So work on that hand placement and try to get those fingers to curve out and come straight at it, right? Because if you're too over it, you're going to want to, your wrist's going to have to do all kinds of weird stuff to make that happen. So again, think of a trapeze, right? Okay? So you just practice with that. And muscle memory will take over after a while. And it'll seem uncomfortable at first, but then you'll get used to it. And then, like I said, the more you play, your thumb will probably start to come up the neck. It's fine, because you'll just adjust as you hear. See right there, I'm muting that first string there. There we go, And you'll just adjust on the fly as you're playing, right? Okay? The other thing, guys, is to do, when you make your chords, you want to have your finger as close to the fret as possible. Now, it's easy to think of the wood part as the fret. First fret, second fret, third fret. You're actually playing on the wood behind the metal bar. The metal bar is the fret. So 1, 2, third fret. So actually, the closer you get to that third bar, the easier it is going to be to press down and get that note to ring out. So even though that's the third fret as well, because you're still in that block, that's preferable. So you want to get as right behind the fret you're supposed to be on as close as possible with your fingers. Now, certain chords, like an E minor, you're going to have 2 different fingers on 2 different strings in the same fret. One is going to be closer than the other because you can't do your fingers straight up and down, right? So with an E minor, you have your first finger on the 5th string, okay? 2nd fret. You also have your second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Well, one of those is going to have to be closer to the fret than the other. And it's going to be that middle finger. You see how close it is there? And this one's going to have to in order to make the chord shape, you're going to have to be further away. You're actually closer to that first fret, right? See how closer there, and then on that one, I'm closer there. So like I said, some chords, you know, that when you're an A major chord, you're gonna have to use one finger, or you could do three. That's how they teach you. Boy, really close to that fret there, a little further away, even more further away. So they teach you to do the one finger and try to bend it so that this first string rings out. See how close I am to that bar? I'm right there on it. My finger kind of does almost a horizontal point. I'm not straight up and down with the A. It bends a little. So closer to the fret will also make those ring out. Just practice that as well. See that D there? My index finger is not as close to that second fret as it should be, or as ideally it should be, but it's because I've got another finger in that same fret on a different string, and you see how close it is to it, okay? So as close to the fret bar as possible, guys. Speaking of E minor, so we take our first finger on the second fret, 5th string. Middle finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, okay? You strum all 6 strings with an E minor. So you have to bend that to get that to all ring out. That's going to produce muscle memory for you. You're already teaching your hand to kind of bend out there some to get all those to ring, right? That's one easy chord to learn to just get that positioning right. Then you can go to an easy C, okay? 5th string, 2nd finger, 3rd fret. 4th string, 1st finger, 2nd fret. You strum everything from the 5th down, not the top. You strum the 5th down. Same concept. You're having to bend out to get that to work, okay? The next easy chord, just move those 2 fingers up a string. So your middle finger is going to go on the top string, the 6th string on the 3rd fret. Your index finger is going to go on the 5th string, 2nd fret. That's an easy G. And you strum everything except that first string. But if you hit it, no big deal. It's not going to sound horrible. So you've got E minor, easy C, easy G. Okay? That will get you in the habit of bending out because you're needing all those bottom strings to ring for the most part. Okay? Now, down here, take your 4th finger, which is your pinky, on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Take your ring finger or 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And you're going to strum from the 4th down. After you've learned those easy chords, now you can try to incorporate. So your easy C was up here, okay? 5th string, 3rd fret, 2nd finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, first finger, okay? That's a C add 9, okay? But because you learned how to make that easy C and bend out to get those strings to ring, once you press these first two strings down, and if you have to make your chord starting with that in the beginning and then bend up to there, it's a C add 9. If you move those first and second fingers up a string like we did before for our easy G, that's a G major. But see, you've learned with the easy G to go ahead and bend out so the strings will ring out. So when you add those others, everything rings out. So just keep practicing with that, guys, and start with those first two finger easy chords. Just to get in the habit of bending out to let all the strings ring out. And then when you start adding other fingerings, you're already in a position for them all to ring out. Guys, if you want to book a call with me and talk to me about some other issues that you have or these issues one-on-one, there's a link in the description. Set up a time and we'll talk, and I'll walk you through some of this stuff one-on-one. We'll see you in the next lesson.